What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. We're still waiting on news on free agency, but here are four teams, boom or bust. And I'll turn it over to the man that, I'm not going to go anywhere near the title name with that. We'll just go, he needs no introduction, Austin.
Yeah, we'll start with my team, Yankees. I think they're probably the least likely to boom or bust, meaning that they will probably make the playoffs no matter what. But I could see them busting, again, to kind of explain what this is. These are teams that either could do extremely well or extremely bad. So, like, the Dodgers won't be on this list, even though they definitely could boom, because I don't see a universe where they bust. While the Yankees, they missed the playoffs last year. Soto was on a team that missed the playoffs. If injuries happen and we are very bad, I could see us missing the playoffs. I don't think that'll happen, though, but I still think they have boom or bust potential.
Yeah, I agree with completely what you said. This is a combined list, but yeah, they're very least likely because they should be getting more helpful guys. And just the big thing is floor and ceiling. The floor, these teams have a floor in the basement, but they also have a ceiling of a skyscraper.
That's a good way to put it.
So Yankees, to me, yeah, if Judge gets hurt, the thing is their rotation. Like Garrett Cole will probably still be okay, but it's the guys around Garrett Cole. Who they, of course, the big signing last year. Why am I forgetting players' names today? The guy I wanted over DeGrom.
Rodon.
Like if he's back to what he was with the Giants, what the Yankees were expecting, that's an incredible top two. And they got Marcus Stroman too, but he could be a little bit boom or bust. And then it's just depending on the rookies and catchers. You got Austin Wells if he has an incredible year and Trevino gets back to what he was in his first season with the Yankees, then that's a boom. But there's a possibility of a bust if the guys around Judge. Can they live up to their potential? So that's why they're there. But I think there's a relative way they make the playoffs. This other team is the Texas Rangers. They're boom or bust. Look at their starting rotation for the first half of the season. Scherzer's out. DeGrom's out. Tyler Mahle, the guy they signed, is out. You got Evaldi, who's dealt with injury issues. He dealt with them last season. You got John Gray, who's coming off an injury. And then you got Andrew Heaney. He's a hit or miss guy. Like, he's the definition of boom or bust, in my personal opinion. Because if his fastball's on, he looks great. If it's not, he's hitting bombs. Or he's giving up bombs. Then you got Dane Dunning, who had a great season, but you just don't know. And then the fifth might be Cody Bradford. So the starting rotation, and then of course you got the bullpen. The bullpen was historically terrible. And then out of nowhere, they helped win the Rangers. They didn't just hurt the chances for the Rangers in the World Series.
Yeah, and I think a great point. They were boom or bust last year. Yeah. Look how close they were missing the playoffs. When you think about the last 4 games, they lost 3 of them. They almost missed the playoffs. If they had lost that other game against the Mariners, Kevin, out of the playoffs.
Dude, I seriously thought
game.
I seriously thought they were going to miss the playoffs.
Was that the last game of the year? That was,
right?
No.
Last game of the year could have clinched the division. They lost. That lost them the division. The game
second to last.
They got
and they lost that game, and then the last game of the year, which they already did lose, out of the playoffs.
Dude.
I definitely think they're boom or bust.
It was that stretch where I'm like, dude, like I thought we were locked into a playoff spot. And then I think I said maybe they make the playoffs in this podcast.
Yep.
Because I seriously thought, I was like, dude, let's just get to the playoffs. I remember I was at a party watching it when they clinched the playoff spot, which was great. So enough about me. Those are 2 teams more high profile very recently. Yankees, of course, are historic. Rangers, given their prominence last year. But yeah, boom or bust. These other 2 teams, these seems like 2 teams we love. Sort of love. I have a love-hating relationship with this team, the Cardinals. We picked them to be number 1 last year, and oh my goodness, were we wrong?
Oh, 100%. Kevin, I don't think you've ever been right about the Cardinals.
Yeah, no. Yeah, thanks, Cardinals. So I hope they
You
stay
predicted
this
you
year.
had them as out, then they won 17 games in a row,
And then I had
and
them win.
and then you had them winning it in the uh in the wild card,
Yep,
and
beating the
then
Dodgers.
yep, and then last year you had them in the playoffs. So you're not very good at. What I'm saying is, if you're a better, fade Kevin. Whatever's Kevin thinking about the Cardinals, just
Yeah.
the other way is probably the right choice.
But there was an olive branch. They gave us Jordan Montgomery, and I love Jordan Montgomery. So please come back. But yeah, they're boomer bust because we're talking about, dude. If we want to talk about you and I've seen a couple of these pitchers on their rotation. Not Sonny Gray, but we've seen Lance Lynn. We've seen Kyle Gibson. I believe they're one of the oldest starting pitchers.
Yeah, I think they have the oldest rotation in the MLB.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Their coach had some comments. I can't remember the quote. It's a fun quote. Whatever he said was he compared it to the presidential election, which was hilarious. Someone was complaining about that. I'm like, dude, you got to put that quote in. If the guy said it, like, hey, that's a quote. So there's that. But if Lance Lynn gets to what he was 2 years ago with the White Sox before his downfall or his bad year, Kyle Gibson's a manageable starter. But if they get back to what they were on the Rangers when they traded him, I think that's a great move. Sonny Gray, I don't think is Sonny Gray is going to be good. Can he be great though? And then if they're rolling on 3, this offense is amazing. We were talking about Jordan Walker, and they got some guys coming up. They got what they got from the Rangers is a pretty good haul. I want to say they got an infielder who I was listening to a prospect guy, and he said he liked him more than the Acuna. The Acuna the Rangers traded away.
Say it again.
So I was listening to a prospect guy. I believe it's tepid participation. He liked the infielder we traded in the Jordan Montgomery trade more than Acuna, or he's like, I can see that guy being better than Acuna in the majors.
Okay.
So, and then they got a pitcher from the Rangers who dealt with Tommy John issues. And if you're a betting person, bet on a guy getting better. That's a pitcher the Rangers trade away. Just look at Cole Reagans with the Kansas City Royals.
That's true.
So, because their offense is going to be good, it's just their pitching. I think that's the thing about, and that's a boomer bust possibility.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the past 2 years have kind of shown that, and even overall, they are just not a team that I could see doing something in between.
Yeah, I agree. So that's the Cardinals, and then this is a team we both really love, the San Francisco Giants. I'll toss this over to you.
Yeah, this is a team I've been on for a while. We'll see how they are in my prediction video when we do that, but I definitely think they are a great team. But with all the additions they've had, if Robbie Ray does not return to Cy Young form and other injuries mount and players aren't playing like they should, I could see them fall. But they made some great additions, and I'm excited where this team is heading.
Yeah, and one of the additions, of course, is I believe you mentioned it, the Seattle Mariners pitcher. I can't think of players' names right now.
Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray, dang. Then they, of course, got Webb. They got Cobb. And then who else? They got Jorge Soler. A big thumper right there.
And they also got, who's the Japanese product?
The center fielder.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his name because I feel like I'll get it wrong. As I am just Young Hoo Lee. He's also a good prospect. And if he hits well, then they're boom. But bust, I think this is kind of a reverse of the Cardinals. If the hitting of the Giants works, because they're pitching, man, that's incredible. Why are you laughing?
I found the quote. I've been searching forever to find.
You found the Cardinals quote?
I found it,
dude.
So discussing the plan, to go with a lot of older arms. The St. Louis president of baseball operations said that he isn't worried about the older arms, saying, unlike our upcoming election, I am not overly concerned with age in this current state.
Dude.
That's a quote. That is a quote.
And we'll go a little, not to political realm, more writer realm. How can you not, if you're a writer, when you hear that, be like, I have to put that in my story? Because it describes the issue of the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You have to put that quote down. That's not a quote you can skip over.
How many paragraphs is that in? Like, how high up is it in the story?
Let me...
Like, that would be maybe like 2 or 3 lines in.
Let me click on it again. It would be... It's literally the second line.
It's the second line? That's awesome.
Yeah, it goes...
That's amazing.
The manager's name looks like at the Cardinals pitching staff and isn't worried about the older arms. Unlike it's a Washington Post article and it's literally the second line.
What? Oh man, that's beautiful. So yeah, a little digression. Probably the first time I've gotten a little bit into the writing, but dude, that makes you want to read the story. So that's a great. Oh man, it's a fantastic quote. Boomer bust for them. And okay, so you found the quote. How do you feel about the Giants are the reverse of the Cardinals? Because the Giants, I'm worried about their position players.
I agree. Their pitching, I feel more confident about. But I also think they're probably on the right side of that boomer bust. I think they're more likely to boom than bust.
Yes. It's safer to have better pitching. Just look at the Rangers while they're on this list. They have worse pitching. They have better position players. You can never go wrong with better. It's always better to.
You can't have too many pitches.
Yeah. And it's better to score just 1 or 2 runs than having to score 10 runs.
Yeah. Luckily, the Rangers figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do that consistently.
Yeah. And El Bombi. But yeah. And Corey Seager's also dealing with injuries. Huge thing. But these are teams where we could see it happen. If I had to rank, I'd go these 4 teams. I go Yankees from lowest chance to boom or bust. I'll probably say Yankees, Giants, Rangers, Cardinals.
So these are teams' highest chances to bust, is what you're saying.
Yeah, out of these 4 teams right now.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think that ranking is fair.
Mm-hmm. Cardinals have the highest chance. And then, as we've talked about, let us know what you think. And we appreciate you listening to Outsiders' Opinions.